Well, I finally started working on my layout from the Mayberry collection from Close to My Heart. These are the actual items that come in the kit. This is called the Workshops on the Go, again by Mayberry, with Close to My Heart is the company name. The only other two things that I bought were the inks. I bought the smoothie, and that's the item number for the smoothie ink, and I bought the olive, and that's the item number for the olive. If you like any of these products, just feel free to private message me and I can make sure to get some to you. These items here come with a guide, and you don't have to do exactly what's on here. You can do whatever you want. But this is kind of the layout idea that I worked on today, and I'm going to just show you how I did it very quickly. So in this kit you get 24 sheets of paper. Now these are cut small because I've already been working on cards and layouts. Every single page in here is actually a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So you get the designer papers that are all double-sided, and you also get the basic cardstock. And the cardstock, you can see you get, I think this is called Cocoa, this one is Smoothie, I'm sorry, this one is Olive, this one is Smoothie, this is the Cocoa, and the Colonial White. You get 2 sheets of each of these solid cardstocks in addition to the 6 different types of designer papers that are double-sided. So usually what happens is you end up starting with a blank sheet of paper like this. And you're like, where do I go from there? So I'm going to just show you real quickly. What I did was I took one of the 12 by 12 sheets of paper and I just cut a 1-inch stripe out. That's going to go on top. Now my photos for this particular layout, I'm just anchoring on white. So this is just going to bump up all the way to the edge there. And this is just a standard 5 by 7 photo. Then I had all my photos, so this one's the same way. I'm going to anchor it all the way in the corner so that there's no white showing. And then I'm going to put a slight gap between these two. So then what I did was I took another sheet of the designer paper and I made it 5 inches tall by whatever was remaining. And if it overlaps a little bit, that's okay. It's just going to go right underneath my photo there. Then I took those canvas badge buttons. Remember, they were plain, so I just took one of the stamps out of this stamp set. I used that flower one right there. I used it inside of the smoothie ink and stamped it right on top of that canvas badge button. Then for this button here, I used the apple. See, the apple is actually bigger than the button. So again, I used the smoothie ink and I stamped on that button. Then I took the cherry, and so I used the small cherry as well as the small leaf and stamped those, one in smoothie and one in olive. And so those are going to go there. Then this is the fun part, and this is where you can start teaching your children how to scrapbook. I wanted to make a little embellishment on top, just like you see on this guide, and it shows you how to do that in here. And this I thought was a very neat idea. All I did was they took the pear stamp and they stamped it bunches and bunches of times. And you can let your kids do this, and they may not stamp it perfectly every time, but that's okay. You have plenty of paper and they could stamp more, or you may not even need to use that particular piece. So you just stamp and stamp and stamp, and then you use your hole punch and cut out the hole from each of the pears. So with that, you end up with a whole bunch of little circles like these. So then what I did with these is I just tuck them underneath this strip in 1-inch increments. Across just like that. So that's pretty much that layout for that sheet. Then I didn't have ribbon. I didn't want to buy the ribbon for this particular layout, and that's okay. I wanted to use exactly what was in this kit. So I took another one of those designer papers. Again, it's a double-sided piece of cardstock, and I cut that into, I think this is a 3/4 inch strip. Then I scored it at every 1/2 inch mark, and then I folded it. And so that kind of makes a ribbon effect. So that's going to go down right here, right along this edge. And you end up with a ruffled ribbon effect looking right there. Then I took another piece of cardstock, and remember these designer papers, the designer paper is double-sided, so it has green and it has yellow. So I just punched out 6 circles, and I'm just going to alternate those circles to make a little flower looking thing. And that's going to go right here. Then I took another canvas badge button and used the pear stamp, this one right here, and stamped it in the olive, and that's going to be the center. So I'm leaving this spot here because I'm going to put a journaling block in there to write about this day. But you can kind of see just from that quick layout that that's one side of my layout. The other side is very similar, and I'm just going to lay it on top here. And so here all I did was I used the striped designer paper and put it as the background. I matted this photo on the colonial white. I matted these photos on the olive, and I mounted this one on the colonial white. So here's just 2 designer papers side by side, and they are about 5.5 inches wide each, so that I ended up with a 1-inch border all around. So in the end, what I end up with, and these are just 2 of the apple stamps. Sorry, my bird is going crazy. And this is the stamp that's also found in the kit. You're the apple of my eye. So I stamped that and put it right there. And again, these circles are that same pear technique cut into circles. Now you'll notice on this layout, they have them this way. But with the way I have my colors laid out, I like it the opposite direction. So my layout is actually going to look something like this when it's done. Okay, I'm back. So I finished this layout now. You can probably tell I added and changed a few things. I added a little bit more of that ribbon look and feel right here. I had it on this side already on my previous video, but I decided to extend it on this side. This was actually my daughter's idea, and it made perfect sense. Also, over here, this was a white patch, and to make the 2 pages kind of more uniform, since I swapped the layouts, I went ahead and added the striped paper in this corner as well. But look at how much dimension you have on the page. These canvas badge buttons just add a lot of nice texture to it, as well as being able to make your own ribbon-like type embellishments just from a strip of paper by folding it. And again, that is another canvas badge button and those punched circles. And then again, here's another folded sheet of paper to make it look kind of like ribbon. So it's a really simple and easy layout. So I hope this gives you an idea of one scrapbook layout that you can do with the Mayberry collection. I'm also going to be doing another one here in a moment, so I'll post that one as soon as I finish it. And whatever leftover papers I have, I'll decide if I'm going to do another layout or if I'm going to start making cards. So I'll make sure to post those to show you what all you can do with this one paper pack with the workshops on the go from Close to My Heart, the Mayberry collection. Thanks for watching.